Coming up, a live look at conditions as we prepare for round 2 of snow in the valley.
And you get in icy conditions with extreme winds, and bad things can happen.
We'll tell you how long it took deputies to clean up 9 jackknifed semis. Plus, a man is dead after slamming his car into a house. Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening, everyone. Get ready for round 2. More snow is heading our way. Our weather team is declaring tomorrow a first alert weather day with a live look at conditions. Right now is Valley News team's Alex Larson live in downtown Fargo. Alex.
Thank you, Stacy. This is our first real Friday night of winter, and we drove around for a little bit since we checked in last, and the road conditions are still pretty okay. I've seen a lot more people than I did the last time I checked in out, and it looks like the beginning of the cold has not taken away from their fun. Most people that I've seen, though, are not bundled up in their winter gear. So just a reminder, this is the beginning, and it's only going to get colder. So start wearing your winter gear and stay safe. In downtown Fargo, reporting live, Alex Larson, Valley News Live.
Looking pretty quiet out there. Thanks, Alex. Joining us now to help you plan your weekend is Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Hutch.
Stacey, thanks so much, and good evening, everyone. As we've closed out our work week here with a very snowy and windy day, a very icy one as well. 1 to 2 inches in Grand Forks and Fargo is reported. We did get some 3 to 6 inch reports around the region as well, and the wind finally quieting down after leaving a scene like this. It was that wet, heavy, thick snow. It froze too with all those cold winds, really gluing that stuff right down to the ground and to the road surfaces. Peak winds 55 and 60 miles per hour in Fargo and Grand Forks, respectively. Look at the parking lot out at the Luther Family Ford location. You can just see the glistening ice out there. So take it slow, take it easy, and get prepared because we do have round 2 as suggested just moments ago. We do have some cloudy conditions, but the radar extremely quiet. The wind speed's now quieting down. They're not nearly as gusty as they were. Here's what you need to know about round 2. We're going to have periods of snow throughout the day, but they get more intense late in the day. 2 to 4 inches, and the farther north you go, we may see some elevated amounts up there over what you see here, simply because your temperatures will be colder up there throughout the entire event. We could get some mixed precipitation down south, which will limit some of the snowfall potential down there. Hour by hour details on this here in just a couple of moments, Stacy, but suffice it to say, we're going to have another wintry start to the weekend, and then our attention turns to a little bit quieter pattern after that.
Hey, good news there. Thanks so much, Hutch. New information now on an accident that shut down parts of I94 today. It took crews more than 4 hours this evening to get a semi upright after it tipped over. Minnesota State Patrol tells us it was the last of 9 jackknife semis overnight. That one happened at mile marker 6 and exit to Detroit Lakes. Officials say a number of things made this storm especially tricky.
Here we had how much rain yesterday, and then it turned to freezing rain with snow into extreme winds. So it's just one of those that makes things very significant as far as difficult weather, cold, things like that.
Those semi-accidents are just a few among dozens of incidents reported up and down the Red River Valley in the past 24 hours. Graybo is reminding drivers to slow down and use extreme caution. For travelers out of Hector International Airport, the weather is causing some challenges. At least 4 departing flights and an arrival from Minneapolis were delayed today across the various airlines. Tomorrow's storm may also impact travelers. You can check for flight arrival and departure information at fargoairport.com. It appears snow days may be a thing of the past for some local school districts. Moorhead and West Fargo Public Schools say snow days are no more. If weather conditions make it too hard for students to come in, they'll switch over to e-learning. Fargo Public Schools says they have rules in place for when they'll have class online, but say they may still designate days off for heavy snow. New tonight at 10, in an effort to get touring artists to visit Grand Forks, the Ralph Engelstad Arena is asking all employees to send in a copy of their COVID-19 vaccination card. In a memo to staff, the Ralph says while they're not requiring vaccination, it appears as though the industry may be moving toward a scenario where touring artists may ask to only use employees who have been vaccinated, making it a condition of future shows. They say having the staff's vaccination cards should help them promote the venue as a safe option.
Senate stands adjourned. Sine die.
After a whole week of late-night negotiations and the occasional flare of emotion, North Dakota's special session is over. Lawmakers sent 19 bills to the governor's desk, among them a bill banning state and local governments from ordering vaccine mandates. However, companies will still be allowed to instill their own mandates for employees, but the legislature expanded exemptions, which include morals, proof of antibodies over the past 6 months, having a doctor's note, or undergoing weekly testing. Some lawmakers say this long list of exemptions makes the mandates unusable and doesn't allow companies to create a safe working environment.
The exclusions that are provided with it really render it rather useless, and it'll be very difficult, I believe, for our company to provide a safe workspace for our employees with this number and types of exclusions.
And there's this. Visitors and employees for healthcare units and prisons all exempt from the bill. Lawmakers say they wanted to protect those specific groups. Higher education is also exempt to avoid conflicts with NCAA rules for athletes and research that uses federal grants. A new law to come out of the special session will provide North Dakotans with income tax relief over the next 2 years. That bill will provide a tax credit of up to $350 per resident, $700 if a married couple is filing jointly. And another bill just signed into law, a ban on critical race theory. But lawmakers are still trying to figure out what curriculum is affected, if there are any at all. Lawmakers and educators say they have no proof that critical race theory is being taught in K through 12 schools where the bill bans it. Supporting lawmakers say they're trying to keep it from, quote, creeping into the schools. Lawmakers against the bill say it sets a precedent for the legislature to control classrooms.
It's a red herring. It's the definition of culture wars, which most of us claim to hate. And it makes a mockery of our century code when we're willing to just plug stuff in there because it's easier than having difficult conversations.
Committee hearings for that bill were among the most attended by the public. A 22-year-old is dead after crashing his car into a house in central Minnesota. The Stearns County Sheriff's Office says Corey Sturgis's car flew through the air and slammed into a St. Martin home after he drove through a ditch, then hit a driveway approach. Fortunately, no one was inside that home at the time. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. And State Patrol is still searching for a semi-driver who hit a pedestrian. That happened on Highway 34 in Becker County last night. Investigators say a woman was walking when a semi pulling a trailer hit her and kept going. The 42-year-old is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. State Patrol is urging you to keep an eye out for that semi, saying the right front headlight is out and the tractor has damage to the front bumper. Still ahead, if you're looking for someone to blame for this wintry weather, look no further than this 12-year-old.
All right, and tomorrow, round 2 of our wintry weather, a first alert weather day to begin your weekend. We'll have hour-by-hour details on when the snow hits, where it hits, and what you can expect for the second half of your weekend. All of that is next.